Can we spend 1 minute on Snow White and how it totally imploded at the box office this weekend? It was so delicious. The thing they spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
The first hint that something had gone catastrophically wrong wasn't a headline or a critic's review. It was the unmistakable ping, ping, ping of notifications. 1 minute, Rachel Zegler was uploading a heartfelt, slightly teary video from her bedroom. The next, the internet was ripping it apart like a pack of raccoons who just discovered a 5-star buffet. How did Disney's newest princess in waiting transform overnight into the unofficial mascot of a cinematic faceplant? Buckle up, this tale has more twists than a churro at Disneyland. Rachel's now infamous clip should have been a damage control cupcake, sweet, bite-sized, sprinkled with vulnerability. Instead, she served a flaming baked Alaska. People still line up to see me, she insisted, eyes shining with defiance, and maybe a dash of please stop sending me death threats. Twitter, sorry, X, turned that line into an instant meme. One creator spliced it with the sound of crickets. Another pasted her face onto the Hindenburg. Within hours, hashtags like #snowflop trended so hard they practically left skid marks. Lesson 1. If you're trying to reclaim the narrative, maybe don't hand the internet a lighter and a gallon of gasoline. Disney's accountants probably keep stress balls shaped like Mickey's head. They needed them. Snow White cost roughly $250 million, enough to buy every dwarf their own penthouse. Yet its opening haul barely cleared $45 million. Compare that to The Little Mermaid, which swam in at $95 million, controversy and all. Theaters yanked Snow White from premium screens faster than you can say, hi ho, it's off to video we go. Box office analysts called it a historic miscalculation. Translation, the kind of flop that makes studio executives wonder if it's too late to pivot to influencer content. And it wasn't just ticket sales. Disney Plus pre-orders flatlined, merch lingered on shelves, and theme park tie-ins quietly vanished. Somewhere, a warehouse full of unsold plush dwarfs is humming "Someday My Prince Will Come" in the dark. Old interviews age like milk when the internet is bored. Clips resurfaced of Rachel describing the 1937 classic as weird and the prince as literally a stalker. In 2023, that might pass for spicy commentary. In 2025, it read like she'd graffitied grandma's heirloom china. Longtime Disney fans, people who'd happily mortgage a kidney for a limited edition pin, felt personally slighted. TikTok grandmas recorded reaction videos explaining why they wouldn't take their grandkids to see a princess who trashes her own origin story. When you've lost both boomers and Gen Alpha, you're basically a social media piñata, and piñatas don't usually come out on top. Inside Disney HQ, whispers spread like free churros. Execs allegedly floated the idea of a surprise director's cut to soften the blow, but realized you can't re-season soup after it's already in the customer's lap. Meanwhile, rival studios watched the spectacle with smug delight, like it was the Super Bowl halftime show, minus Rihanna plus popcorn. One streaming competitor even greenlit a documentary titled "When Reboots Go Rogue Within 48 Hours." If you're wondering whether Hollywood ever sleeps, the answer is yes, but only on piles of other people's IP. Cue the Oscars. Rachel appeared on stage with Gal Gadot to present Best Visual Effects. Ironic, given the invisible wall between them. Body language analysts on YouTube broke down every millisecond. Gal's half step away, Rachel's forced smile, the way neither woman's shoulders so much as acknowledged the other's existence. The clip racked up millions of views, accompanied by commentary like, "These two have less chemistry than diet water." Gal returned to her regularly scheduled career unscathed. Rachel? She'd just added Academy Award night tension to her resume of PR nightmares. Hollywood runs on perception, and Rachel's stock plummeted faster than crypto in 2022. One studio insider whispered that her name now sets off the smoke alarm in marketing meetings. Projects she'd been circling evaporated. Agencies debated whether she was still bankable or more break the bank. Behind closed doors, her team pitched a redemption arc, charity work, late-night show apologies, maybe a tear-jerking docuseries titled "Finding My Voice." But the internet, ever vigilant, side-eyed every move like, is this genuine or just another reboot we didn't ask for? While executives counted losses, fans staged their own narrative. Some argued Rachel was unfairly targeted for trying to modernize a dated tale. Others saw her as Exhibit A in Hollywood's war on nostalgia. Message boards lit up with debates about authenticity, legacy, and whether dwarfs can be digitally resized without offending literally everyone. And then came the conspiracy theories, secret studio sabotage, algorithmic manipulation, even a wild claim that Walt Disney's cryo chamber flickered when the box office numbers dropped. For the record, there's no proof Walt's in a freezer, though right now some execs might wish they could join him. Once hailed as Spielberg's breakout prodigy, Rachel Zegler now stands as a cautionary tale for the TikTok age. When every off-the-cuff comment lives forever, you're only one viral misstep from fairytale to fiasco. She wanted to be the leader of her own narrative, no prince required, but discovered that leadership without a listening tour looks a lot like ego in a ball gown. In 2025, audiences don't just buy tickets, they buy in. And if they feel iced out, they'll hand you the bill in memes, one-star reviews, and empty seats. The digital crowd is fickle, but it's also forgiving. If you show a little humility, maybe toss in a self-deprecating joke, and for the love of Mickey, stop poking the nostalgia bear. So the next time a studio tries to modernize a classic by torching the original, someone should whisper, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, is this actually what the fans want at all?" Because in the kingdom of online opinion, the fairest of them all isn't the loudest voice. It's the one that knows when to speak, when to listen, and when to put down the phone before lighting another match.